On my way.
Welcome to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. I'm Kim.
And I'm Jonna.
And this is the second time we're filming episode 33.
Go team.
Exactly.
That was my fault, though, because I didn't have my headphones, my AirPods connected to the right thing.
Right. We were trying to film a split screen. I can't remember now. We must have done it in May or June.
Yeah.
And it's a more complicated setup. It's not just a camera in front of the two of us, right? And it's only the second time we've done it.
And I depend on her for everything. So.
And yeah, it's just complicated. And so we filmed it, and it was a good episode. But then when she sent me her file, I realized that her file should have only had her video and her audio. And when I listened to it, it also had my voice coming through Zoom, and the quality just isn't good. So it would have been really, really complicated editing. And so then we wanted to just film it again immediately, but then I don't know, it was just busy. So here we are now at
Pick Up Every Stitch.
At Pick Up Every Stitch, which is even better.
New York.
It's way better than split screen.
Yeah, way better. So
back
you
home.
just had to wait for me to get back to Vermont.
Yeah, so back where we belong. And Jonna, oh, by the way, people have asked. Jonna does still own a house in Texas and lives in Texas. That's her address.
My husband has a business in Texas.
Right.
So legally, that is our home. But Vermont is my home.
Right. Yeah. So they bought a second home for the whole family to use for vacations and in the summer to get away from the Texas heat and just to get back in the Northeast and see mountains and trees.
Stars. So my brother lives in Massachusetts. My niece lives in Rhode Island. So I get to, hang out with them. And I'm just a mountain person. I love the mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband's like a beach person. So I think he would have preferred a house on the beach.
Right.
But we just wanted kind of an all-seasons house. And this is definitely, even spring was beautiful. Summer is beautiful. Winter is beautiful. So you can tell I'm having a love affair with the state of Vermont. But
and she's had so much fun seeing you bought the house, I think, at the end of last year.
In November. We didn't close until December. Then we rented back to the people who owned it because their house wasn't ready. So we didn't move until March.
Right. And then Jonna's had fun seeing all the plantings come up because you don't know what's in the yard.
And every day I walk around the yard. So not yesterday, but the day before, I used my Apple Watch. I walked the perimeter of the lawn, and it was a quarter of a mile. So I like to go out there, and every day there is a new flower.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Just flowers just grow everywhere. And even, if you go by a house and maybe the house is run down, the garden is beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fun because everything grows there. I'm growing zucchini and tomatoes.
Berries,
blueberries, black raspberries. I planted a memory garden for my dad with hydrangea and anemone and astilbe, which I love. So I just planted pumpkins the other day for the kids. So I planted them all around the yard. So we'll see what happens. I planted a wildflower garden. I planted some, dahlias, those big flowers. So Kim was up there for a week with her husband, and she was sending me pictures of all my garden stuff. So that was really nice.
And it was fun because I said, can I do any chores while I'm there? And she said,
I couldn't stop her from doing chores. Let's just be clear.
well, at first I walked in and the fridge was making a weird noise.
Oh
It was late at night, so I ignored it. And then the next morning, I let my husband sleep in every day. And while we were there, and it was still making the noise. So I sent Jonna a video and I said, is this normal? And I got back a text, no! Exclamation point, exclamation point.
Well, and I wonder if it sounded even louder because it was a video.
Yeah.
Was it really loud?
It was loud.
Yeah.
It was loud. But basically, within the next hour or two, I realized, Jonna and I investigated, and I defrosted the freezer and, moved the fridge, unplugged it, moved everything down to this other freezer in the basement. It was so funny. All while my husband was sleeping in. And then I was done by the time he woke up, and it worked the rest of the time we were there.
Thank goodness, because my nephew came and stayed after you left with his girlfriend, and the fridge completely died. So when we arrived, we had no fridge, and the dishwasher worked when it wanted to. And fortunately, you had plugged in the freezer downstairs, so the freezer was fridge temp, so that was helpful. But then we had to move all the freezer stuff down to the freezer downstairs. We bought one of those little dorm fridges at this used furniture store. So it was like, we didn't know where anything was. So you call in Vermont for a repair, and they're like, oh, where do you live? We're like, oh, Vermont. They're like, oh, it'll be like 3 weeks. I'm like, who lives without a fridge for 3 weeks? So, I think it's sort of wasteful not to repair it, but we ended up buying a new fridge, a new dishwasher.
Well, they're the appliances that came with the house. And
they were only 7 years old, though.
Yeah, but there's no repairman for that style.
There wasn't. For this brand of fridge, there wasn't a repair person. So I bought just the regular old GE, I think they are. Mm-hmm. And nothing fancy, just functional. And we didn't have AC, and it was hot. Right.
So I said, can I do any chores? And then she said, well, I only put one screen in but before you left, because you were there earlier in the spring. So she told me where some of the screens.
I ordered you a window fan.
Yes.
Because I was so worried about them being hot.
So I found as many screens as I could find, and I put those in strategically in the main floor and then upstairs.
And you guys weren't. You were okay.
There was only
it wasn't really super hot.
Only one night. It was 90 degrees, and it was a little warmer.
Gosh.
And then, yes, you ordered the fan, the window fan for the last night we were there, or the last 2 nights. Mm-hmm. And then she said, oh, if you want deck furniture, it's in the storage area behind the garage. So I went and got it one morning. All these things I did when my husband was sleeping. And I brought it up on the deck. He helped me with the table. But I got soap and water, and I scrubbed it all, and it had been not covered. And so birds had been nesting. So you can imagine what was all over.
Did you wash those covers in the washing machine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The cushion covers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cushion covers for the dining table, the deck dining table, you could unzip them. Mm-hmm. And so I just washed the covers. Mm-hmm. And I just scrubbed it all and arranged it strategically on.
It's beautiful.
And then I got her some potted plants.
I just threw away the pansies the other day because
pansies don't like
They're done. Yeah, they were done.
And the funniest thing was
I didn't throw them away. I composted them.
Oh, by the way, we're talking all this chit chat. If you're just here for the knitting, we'll put timestamps in the show notes, and you can skip all the chit chat and get straight to what we're wearing. But we're almost done. So there was this one in the main hallway. I mean, you'd only been to the house twice before I was there with my husband. Mm-hmm. And so there's some artwork on the walls. Most of the furniture is from the previous owners. When I was there the first time, there was no dining room table, remember? Mm-hmm. And since then, she's got a dining room table. But so when you walk down the main hall to go to the main floor bathroom or up the stairs, there was a picture hanger with no picture on it. Like, no picture. And every time, the first few days we walked down the hall, I'm like, it needs a picture. And I kind of looked around to see if there was any artwork I could hang up. I couldn't find anything, so I had this funny idea. Is it Kim that does this from the Knitting Posse? Mm-hmm. She has this thing when someone comes to her house for the first time, she finds a picture of them, frames it, and strategically places it among the family photos. And so people notice the picture of themselves. So I thought of that. So thank you, Kim, for the idea. But I had my husband and I take a selfie in front of the house in Vermont, and then we sent it to Walgreens and had it framed.
We have a Walgreens?
Oh, it's pretty far away.
Oh, I was going to say, we have a Walgreens?
Oh, it's back toward 91, past 91.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember the name of the town. Anyway, so we went and picked it up and hung it on that nail. And my husband said, "You're never going to be able to keep the secret," because I just wanted Jonna to show up after driving from Texas. And I was wondering,
sick.
Right, you were not feeling well. I was wondering if she'd notice it in the first second, or if it would take days, or if her husband would notice it first. But anyway, who noticed it first?
I did, but not the first day.
Did you laugh out loud? No.
I did.
Oh, good.
Well, and speaking of Kim from the Knitting Posse, we'll link their YouTube channel below. She lives only about 20 minutes away from me. So I went to her house and knit for a little bit, and she has a beautiful, oh my goodness, a beautiful deck and a beautiful mountain view. And then she came to my house the next day, and we got sandwiches and just sat and knit.
So it was knit together with the different Kim and Jonna.
It was knit together with Kim and Jonna, but a different Kim. So that was really
I was
fun.
A little jealous, envious, but I can share you.
It's nice because, like, I don't really have an agenda. I don't.
When you're there.
No. So I have lots of free time. So I've been taking French classes, and we did just join the local pool, which is not the cleanest. The pool's fine. the facility is pretty run down, but, you know, it's very reasonable. And
it serves its purpose.
It does. And I don't know. I tell people that Vermont, like, aligns with my values, you know, ecologically and environmentally and spiritually. And I love how Vermont takes care of its citizens, and I love going to the transfer station, which I didn't even know what a transfer station was until I lived there. But you can't throw food in the trash in Vermont, and there's garbage disposals are not legal. Mm-hmm. So we put all the food scraps. If it grows, it goes in the compost. And so we compost, and I save all the rubber bands and the twist ties and the bits of string that are too small to be saved. I still save them. That's the name of a book, actually, that I own that I haven't read yet.
What is it?
String Too Short to Be Saved.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's on my list of books to read.
All right. So that's the explanation, if you're wondering.
Yeah. So anyway.
If Jonna still lives, she does still live in Texas, but for the summers and then other weeks throughout the year, she comes to Vermont. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was that. And I guess we're moving on to what we're wearing.
Okay. Well, why don't you go since I've been talking?
Yes, so I am wearing my Adventitious by Olga Patano, and it's knit in Mayak Baby Yak lace, a single strand of Mayak Baby Yak lace, and the color is saffron. And I knit the size 5, which was supposed to be a 52-inch bust chest, and it came out to be 53, so it came out perfectly. It has 8 inches, recommended 8 inches of positive ease. Well, it recommends 8 to 12. I did 8. And, well, I guess with my extra inch, it was 9 inches of positive ease. And it comes, though, in sizes 1 through 12 with a bust measurement of 37 to 79 3/4 inches. Sorry for all you metric people. It's just inches for me today. And I knit, it was suggested to use a US 2. And after swatching, I used a US 2.5. And the gauge is 30 stitches by 38 rounds per 4 inches. Honestly, since we filmed the previous episode 33, I don't even know. I was working on this. So since then, I haven't even written a lot of notes. I was scrambling around to write notes. But it's basically, let me remember, it's a bottom up. Mm-hmm. And some things I love about it is it's a 2x2 rib, but where the lace panel ends, and I have pictures, I don't know if I have a picture of this, but the lace, I can't even remember anymore, but the 2x2 rib changes a little bit so that the cables run right down into the rib.
2x2 rib.
Yeah, so sometimes it's not 2x2, it's like 4x4 or yeah, so it's really just lovely.
It's very beautiful.
And it's drop shoulder, so it's basically a square. Mm-hmm. And the beautiful panel up the front. Now, the most gorgeous thing, besides the fact that it's so lightweight and it drapes so beautifully.
So soft.
So soft.
Oh, did you say it was a little prickly?
The very first time I put it on, I think I was sweaty. It was hot and it felt prickly. Nope, it's not bothering me today. Good. But one thing I love is that when you get to the top, to the V, she didn't just have the lace panel just disappear. She actually modified it so it has this beautiful eyelet detail, and the raw edge is the finished edge. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to add anything on the V-neck at the end. And there were, and at this point I honestly don't remember, but if you go on and look at the projects on Ravelry, I did go on as I was approaching the V-neck just to read if anybody had any issues. This was originally published in a Lane magazine. And of course, when you publish something in paper, human error, there's going to be errata. There's going to be mistakes. So there were a lot of notes, especially I want to thank S.J. Chin, C-H-I-N, S.J. Chin, C-H-I-N. On her Ravelry page, she had amazing notes. So amazing that I actually, when I got to some points, I wanted to tell Olga that there were mistakes. Because then I checked the Ravelry pattern, and there were some mistakes were fixed already from the Lane magazine publication, but some were still there. And so I messaged Olga, who I've met. She's so sweet. And I said, I'm just wondering if you knew that there's some mistakes in the pattern. I think there are mistakes anyway. But I actually sent her a link to S.J. Chin's Ravelry page because I said, this woman has written it out in detail. And Olga immediately got back to me and she said, oh my goodness, thank you for telling me. Nobody's told me this.
Wow. And
then we conversed back and forth a little bit, and she said, I'm going to put these all in my notes and I'll publish a revised pattern, which she did within a week. Uh-huh. And in the end, she thanked me. She said, thank you for being so kind about it. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself,
right.
Who wouldn't be kind?
Exactly.
Human error is a thing. And if you're a designer and someone doesn't tell you, or you're not checking, how would you have time in the middle of designing and publishing and testing and all this to, check every Ravelry note, So it's really important to reach out to the designer, and who knows if they'll have time to even respond, but Olga did. She responded. She was so grateful, and I'm so glad I could help. But she did immediately, like within a week, I had a corrected pattern. Oh, wow. That being said, when the construction is really interesting. So you do the V-neck, and then for the back, you hold the center back stitches, and then you do a little bit higher on the shoulders, and you do the shoulder shaping. And then I can't remember now, is there shoulder shaping? Then you do then you do the 3-needle bind up. I can't remember now. But basically with these center stitches, you pick up stitches along the shaping, the back neck shaping, and then you do short rows between that. And then between these two spots where the 3-needle bind off is, there's one little section of ribbing across the back neck.
Yeah, there is.
Isn't that amazing?
Beautiful.
It's so
I never noticed that before. Actually.
Ingenious and beautiful, and it keeps it up on your shoulders instead of having it gaping really wide. And I love the depth of the V. I just love everything about it.
And the 3-needle bind off.
Oh, the 3-needle bind off. One thing I never realized when you do a 3-needle bind off is I love symmetrical. I love symmetrical. So if I start 3-needle bind off here and go here, I want to start here and go here, but you can't.
No.
Because then the chain looking part of the 3-needle bind off faces the wrong direction. Oh, so it makes me struggle. But I did it. I started at one side and went this way, and the next side I went that way. And I remembered to use a bigger needle for the 3-needle bind off because mine tends to be tight. So that was successful. But one of the best things is the sleeves are like 2 inches long.
Right. I was going to say that. Oh, I'm done with the sleeve.
So when you're done, you just pick up the stitches for the sleeve, do an inch of stockinette, and then your 2x2 rib. And I absolutely love it. And someone asked, I wore this once already here to pick up every stitch for a knit night. And you can't see my pants. Should I stand up and show them?
You should.
I'm wearing these really beautiful Johnny Was pants. I don't know if you can see them. But I specifically knit this sweater to go with these pants. Yeah, because they're just so colorful and bright and lovely. So, anyway, I love it.
Vacation.
I know, exactly.
Not to Canada.
I'll probably be wearing this in Rhinebeck, actually, if it's not too cold. It's usually too hot.
It can be 8 or 80.
Exactly. In the same day.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's what I'm wearing. I think I said everything I wanted to say. Yeah,
Okay.
I said enough.
Oh, you make me want to make one. I have the pattern. I've had the pattern for a long time. And I actually have some of the blue Mayak baby yak lace. Yeah, and healing blue.
Yeah. Oh, you should definitely do that. But it's amazing. I thought this is lace weight with a 2.5 needle. It's going to take forever. But it didn't.
Really?
And it's just magical to knit. Every time you get to this, I just love it.
Nice.
I highly recommend this pattern.
So there's no shaping in the body.
Nope.
Okay.
So if you've purchased the pattern and already printed it, make sure you have the revised version. Yes. Oh, and I did slightly modify. I still didn't understand the instructions for the short rows. I felt like there was one. I felt like it was a little off, which I still haven't messaged Olga after that. But so I just kind of did them evenly the way I thought they should be done.
Okay.
In the back. Okay, that's it. What are you wearing?
Well, I am wearing the Sabai top, which is a very popular pattern by Susanna
Müller.
By her, who also known as Paula Strict.
Ja, Paula Strict, ja. Und wer ist Paula? Who is Paula? Isn't that her grandmother or something?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I read that somewhere.
I don't know. So this was the first knitted thing I made after my dad passed away, and I remember feeling like so accomplished that I had the wherewithal to cast something on and finish it. And I have to say it's one of my favorite summer tops, and I made it out of Sannisgarn Lena, the regular one, not the thick or the thin. And it is very comfortable, even in hot Texas summers. So it's very comfortable. It's washable. I have washed it in the washing machine, and I just hang it up to dry. And I love the situation of the straps, so I can wear it raw, so no peekaboo, and it fits well underneath the arms. I think I made this size 2. It's in my Ravelry. It is a top down, and so then it just has a rolled neck, which is nice. There are 2 versions in the pattern, though, so you can do the ribbing, the one with the ribbing on the neck, too. But it's a lovely boat neck, which I really, really like.
It looks so lovely with your collarbones.
Yes, I like it. And then the hem is actually just a rolled hem, too, so no finishing. Like, you're done, you're done. So it's the gauge is 20 stitches on a US 6, which is a 4mm. And the color is 10-15, so it's like a beige.
Do you like our Jonna color scheme here?
Right?
When we picked out the mannequins, all the beiges, yeah.
It's hard. This is not a very yellow beige, but I feel like the yellow beiges are really not super flattering on me. But I love beige, so who cares?
I have to say, that top, our Instagram post of that top, gets hits all the time. You must have put hashtag Sabai top or something. I don't know.
It's a popular pattern.
Because I don't usually do that, hashtag the name of the pattern. So maybe you did, because all the time we get hits on that. I have to go back and look how many hits there are so far.
It's one of my favorite summer tops. I almost wore my, I can't remember the name of it.
I don't know.
It has a funny name. It has like a Japanese, an unusual name. Oh well.
You'll think of it.
I'll think of it. Or I won't.
Tonight when you're asleep, trying to fall asleep.
So I have no FOs, by the way.
Okay.
And you have lots.
I have a few, but I'm not going to go over all of them in great detail. If anybody wants to,
But it's a knitting podcast.
Yeah, but email me and I can go over it with you on FaceTime or something.
People love that, though.
I know,
That's the thing I like about knitting podcasts is listening to all the thought process, I guess, and the decisions and things. So.
Well, a lot of them are really simple. Since the last time we filmed, we aired something, episode 32. I had been knitting Oslo hats for my German class, and I did finish one more since then, Oslo hat number 11 from me. And so now, maybe I'll insert I don't know, some sort of picture of the Oslo hats. I mean, it's summer. Who wants to see an Oslo hat in the summer?
Oh, well.
I don't
It's
know.
a good knitting project for the summer.
It is. So there's only one more. The class is small. There's not like 25 people in the class. There's 6 or 7. So I just have one more Oslo hat to knit. Actually, I have to buy yarn to knit it. But yeah, so that was fun. And they love the hats. I went around while I'm speaking German and I measured all their heads and asked what their favorite color was. It was a good practice. So then, my first project since that was I guess I have an orange theme going on here. This is A Simple Affair by Melissa Clulo of Sonder Yarn. And it's knit in Sonder Yarn, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I didn't really know. I kind of wanted, a palette cleanser. Sometimes I knit a lot of sweaters and garments, so and I'm not really a shawl knitter, but I saw this at a woolen affair last year. I saw Melissa showing somebody, and the drape of it, it was simply gorgeous. There's 2 different weights, lace held with a lace mohair or fingering held with a lace mohair. This is lace held with lace, I'm pretty sure. And it's the color, so the base is Haven, which is 75% merino, 12% BFL, and 12% Masham, in the color Affair to Remember. Mm-hmm. That was the name of the event. No, Affair to Remember. Was that the name of the event? Not A Woolen Affair. No, it was A Woolen Affair.
It was.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what I'm thinking of.
The
color.
one.
The color is...
The Mayak event was called A Time to Remember.
Right. So the Haven color is called Affair to Remember. It was dyed specifically for that event. That's what it is. I wrote these notes months ago. And then it's held with Halo, which is their mohair, and that color is Siren. And yes, mine is the lace plus lace mohair version. I knit mine on a US 9. Oh, I couldn't remember if I knit it on a 9 or an 8. I think I knit it on a 9 because I ran out of yarn. And it suggested a 7. Now for shawls, I don't typically swatch because it doesn't really matter, but it does matter because you might run out of yarn. Yes. So it wasn't Sonder Yarn's fault that I ran out. I bought a kit at the event. And I ran out of yarn. So as I realized, and I really only ran out of yarn in the ribbed edging. I had just started the ribbed edging of the Haven. I had plenty of mohair. So I messaged Melissa and I said, oh my gosh. And I noticed the dye lot was number 1. So it literally was the first dye lot of that. I said, I'm going to run out of yarn. Help. And she said, how much do you need? Do you need a whole Haig? And I said, no, I just have a few rows of rib. And she said, oh, I have a partial one. I'll send it to you. She literally sent it within a day, and I got it, and I was able to finish it. Thank you so much, Melissa. That was so sweet. And so, yeah, I finished it. And so let me hold it up so that you can see what the pattern looks like. Jonna will help me. So you cast on up here a few stitches, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But again, this went really fast, and then every however many rows, there's eyelets, and they're the double kind of eyelets where you wrap twice, and then you increase in the center less often. Is that right? Then you increase on the edge.
Is it a twisted rib?
It is, yes. Yep, it's a twisted rib. Yeah. And then, so when you get to the end, you do a twisted rib, and then you do a couple, I've never done this before, a couple of rows of stockinette, and then you bind off. Have you seen that before? It's really, isn't it gorgeous? Look at the drape.
It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. So I'll probably be wearing this at Rhinebeck too if it's a little colder.
It's chilly.
I guess I can't wear this with this. They're not the same color orange. But I just absolutely love it. It's so beautiful.
If you were Gigi, you would wear it.
Yes. Yeah. So if you see me wearing this, come up and touch it. You don't even have to ask permission. You know how when you see knitters, you say, may I touch it? It's so soft and so beautiful. Okay, so I have another shawl. I know, a lot of FOs. So my mom, every once in a while she wants to try knitting again. She can knit, but she's a crocheter. She's turning 83 this year, and she can knit, and she knits beautifully, and she knits really well. And she came in here to pick up every stitch, and she bought some of this primrose yarn Co. Homestead Sport. This color is Everlong. And this was a design, this Grace shawl. Where's the point? I'm confused. Okay. Karen designed this for...
Karen Altabef.
Oh, yes, Karen.
Who's one of
Altabef.
the owners of Pick 'em Every Stitch.
Designed this for a local yarn shop day. And she designed it to be a 1 skein or a 2 skein project. So the 1 skein is like a kerchief and the 2 skein is a little bit bigger. You can wrap it around and use like a pin to hold it shut. But my mom got, I'm pretty sure it was 4 hanks or skeins and wanted to knit a bigger one. My mom loves big shawls. And she started it, this one, you start with the point. And it's a little fiddly, especially if you're not a knitter, and there's stitch markers, and there's remembering when to increase in the center and when to increase on the edge. Mm-hmm. And I helped her start it a few times. And like I said, when she's holding her needles and her stitches are beautiful, but I think it was just too much.
Following the directions.
Too much for her. So one day she handed me the bag and she said, "Can you knit this for me?" So I did. And so it came out beautifully. So if you want to see what the primrose yarn looks like in a bigger area, knit area, look at just how beautiful it was. And when I got to here and there was that purple in there, I was so happy. Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, and it's soft too. It's not scratchy at all.
Yep. It definitely softens up when you block it, and I just love it. So, yeah. And I think this is the first one that Karen Altabef had seen knit with 4 hanks or more than 2.
Because you can keep going. You can it's bigger.
You can put as many hanks as you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there it is. I love that. That's Grace by Karen Altabef. And I used a US 7. It's suggested to use a US 5. And yes, it was 4 hanks. So there we go. That was another shawl. Should I keep going?
Yes.
All right, so I have one more FO. That's it. And actually, when we filmed episode 33 before, our failed split screen episode, I wore this. This was my what I'm wearing. So this, I forgot to button it up. This is my Samling cardigan, which I talked about in detail in episode 31. So if you want to hear, all of the detail up to the sleeves, basically, I think I had started a sleeve in episode 32. Did I say 31? 32. So this is my Samling by Sari Nordland. The original pattern by Sari Nordland is a pullover. And I've really come to realize that I really love cardigans. They're easier to take on and off. I can wear a cute blouse underneath. I don't know, I love cardigans. So I modified it into a cardigan. Again, if you want to hear more about how I modified it into a cardigan, you can watch episode 32. But, so this is my Samling by Sari Nordland. And it was originally designed as a pullover, but I wanted a cardigan, so I split it down the center. You can hear all about that in episode 32. It's knit in Woolfolk Stra, S-T-R-A, with the little circle on top of it. This color is S9. It's 50% merino and 50% linen flax. And it's the yarn that it was designed for. And I think when we filmed episode 32, I had started 1 sleeve. And I had a lot of issues with this pattern. Again, go back and look at episode 32. I added some cables. For my size, I added some cables on the outer edge because it was just going to be like plain. And I also added little 1x1 cables down the center front on either side where I was going to pick up and make button bands. And so anyway, let me get to the sleeves. So when I did the sleeves, I noticed that under the arm where you're going to do the sleeve decreases, instead of having cables, she just had reverse stockinette. And again, for my size, that's a big swatch of reverse stockinette. And I started doing it just the way she designed it, and I just didn't like this big, huge section, where's that sleeve, of reverse stockinette. But I kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and so you can probably see it here. This is the top of the sleeve with beautiful cables, and this is the bottom of the sleeve with the reverse stockinette, and all the decreases are in there. It's fine. When your arm is down, nobody notices. Nobody else would ever notice. But for me, I thought, oh, why didn't you put some more cables in there? But obviously it would be much more difficult to write the pattern.
Right.
I mean,
size-wise.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah.
For every single size. So for the second sleeve, I thought, let me just experiment a little bit. So for the second sleeve, I added a whole bunch of little cables. And again, nobody's ever going to notice. And it looks fine. It's not amazing, but it has cables. And then, I thought, am I going to rip out the first sleeve and do it the way I did the second sleeve? And the answer is no. This will forever be a sweater with 2 different sleeves, but it's fine. And I absolutely love it. I wore it to death when I first did it. It's too hot to wear it now, but I knit the size 4, and that would be a 49.45 inch bust. And I used a US 5, 7, and 9. It suggested a 2, 4, and 6. As you can tell, I have to go up, depending on who the designer is, usually I have to go up a few needle sizes to get gauge. And my finished measurements, mine is a little bigger. So, and I think that's because I have a button band down the front and added some extra cables. Oh, I also added some extra stitches under the arms because I looked at the schematic and it looked like the arm circumference wasn't going to be big enough for my arm. I didn't want it to be tight. It's an oversized sweater. Mm-hmm. So I added some stitches under the arms. There weren't supposed to be any, so that's where I have a little extra circumference. So instead of 49.45, mine is 53. And the underarm to the hem is 13.5 inches, and the sleeves are 15.5 inches long. And, it's one little detail. I'm just so silly. And this is one reason I love Olga Patano's details in the Adventitious. I added these little 1x1 cables here and there, and then when I did the rib, I continued the 1x1 cabling in the rib, where the rest of the rib is just regular rib. Just silly little things. So anyway, I love my samling, and who knows, I might wear this at Rhinebeck too.
It's got some linen in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have so many different options. I just love it. So it's a lovely sweater, and I suggest everybody knit it, but it is... you definitely have to think, because when you knit the fronts up to the shoulders, and then when you knit you pick up stitches, if I remember right, you pick up stitches, or are they on hold? I can't remember. But basically when you go down the back, you're supposed to follow the chart. For the 2x2 cables, it's fine, but for the big cables, it doesn't twist the right way, so you have to change the way they twist to make it match, so that when it's going over the shoulder, if you can see here, mine's seamless.
So maybe not a beginner friendly pattern.
No. No.
And there were a few mistakes in the pattern.
There were a few mistakes in the pattern, and I already talked about, again, watch episode 32, how I adjusted these big cables that get added on when you do the V-neck increases. Anyway, that's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So that's it for my FOs. Sorry, that was just me talking and talking and talking.
Okay. I don't have any FOs, so.
Well, you've been doing a lot of other things.
I did knit a sweater, but it's a self-drafted sweater.
Oh, right. Weren't you wearing? You were wearing it for something. Did you wear it for our last episode 33?
I don't think so.
Failed shoot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jonna is experimenting with designing. So she knitted and designed as she was knitting.
I did finish something, but it would be too hot to wear today.
And you're not ready to share it yet?
No, I don't think so.
It's beautiful. Anybody who's seen it, our members have seen it, it's stunning.
Oh, thank you.
But you said you wanted to knit it in a different weight yarn? Or
in a different yarn. Mm-hmm. It's pretty heavy. I knit it in that Pearl Soho Plein Air. I think it's 50% cotton, 50% merino. It's a DK, but it's great for Vermont. Honestly, I've worn it over a long sleeve blouse, and it's just
it's sleeveless. It's like a little tank top, right?
No, it's got sleeves.
Oh, it does have sleeves.
Little short sleeves.
Oh, right.
But it's just too heavy for a summer garment. So I do love the construction. I was really happy I was just happy to have a garment that actually was wearable. I was pretty surprised. So, I mean, there's a million gazillion sweaters out there. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So I just kind of knit, I think this is right.
But it turned out so perfect.
It was very, I didn't really have a plan. It was very much knit as I go kind of thing. So it was fun. Yeah. So that, I do have a finished object, but Not
but
here.
it's not here, and she's not going to show you.
No.
That's not fair. You know,
I
we're going to get a
know.
million emails.
I know. I did order
comments.
new yarn, so I'm going to start over.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, when I listened to Rebecca Clow from the Creabea podcast, she knits many samples, like 5 samples of sweaters. So, and I'm new at it. And so, finding the right yarn and the right gauge and the right drape and, yarn content, that's a lengthy process.
So she knits 5 samples of the same design.
The same design. Yeah.
And then there's people like, I love Arne and Carlos, but most of the time they swatch and have like a color story, and they design and they swatch, and then they send it to Rowan, and then their tech editors really put the sweater,
right.
make it, knit the samples and make it happen. There's just so many different ways to do it.
And, I had friends telling me, be sure you write down what you're doing. Be sure you write down what you're doing. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to write down what I'm doing. Did I write down what I was doing? No, not at all. So I'm going to take better notes this time. So I think this was an FO in the last episode because I finished it. I started it in Texas and I finished it when we arrived in Vermont. So it's just a 2x2 rib, 64 stitches, heel flap and gusset. And it is in the Fibre Co. Amble yarn, which is lovely. I really, really like it. I don't know that it's not super wash, but it's like washer friendly.
Is this the DRK everyday, or you're just making up a sock?
I just made this up.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the Fibre Co. Amble. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the content is, but they do sell it here. And we got involved in a book this time. Oh, I didn't feel well. That's right. We left. I just threw stuff in a bag and I just laid down in the car. I just wasn't.
So the other times you came here,
we flew once. We drove once. We drove
once,
the first time. We flew the second time and left Teddy at home.
Right. You can't bring the dog when you fly.
Yeah.
And then you drove for the summer. You drove here. And yeah, Jonna was really sick. I remember you were going to leave on Thursday, and she's texting me that morning and she's saying, "Oh, I'm still in bed." I think that's why we didn't that's not why we didn't refilm. Anyway,
I don't know. It wasn't a flu. Like, I felt flu-ish, but it wasn't as horrible as the flu. But it was definitely more than a cold.
But your husband obviously had taken those days off from work to drive specifically.
We plan the whole trip. We have to book the hotels, and they have to be dog-friendly hotels. And, he's taking time off of work, and so it kind of had to happen. So I just threw stuff in a bag, and we left. So I didn't knit the first 2 days I think we were on the road.
That's when you're sick, when you don't even want to knit.
Yeah. So we listened to the audiobook we started listening to was The Midnight Library. I can't remember the name of the author, but it was entertaining, and we enjoyed it. And then we started a second book that we haven't finished yet called The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese. And if you haven't read any of Abraham Verghese, definitely do that. I read Cutting for Stone, and it was one of the best books I've ever read. So, and the author is quite illustrious, and it's very, it's a great story. I think I haven't read all of his books, but he's a physician, so there's a lot of medicine in the books.
Nice.
Yeah, and Cutting for Stone implies surgery.
Oh, wow.
Cutting bodies. So. Anyway, started the second sock. I'm just like a few rounds shy of starting the heel flap, so I don't want to do that while I'm sitting here because I can't be trusted. Yeah, and it's just this lovely beige color called like Blenheim or Blen. It's the name of a town. And I did write it down somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, these are my perfect socks to wear with my Blundstones. One night she calls me, and was it raining? You were like, "Can I wear your boots?"
Oh, when I stayed at their Vermont house, It rained and rained and rained. And the first morning, I walked around her yard to take pictures of all of her plants and her flowers, but I wore my sneakers. And then I only brought sneakers and Birkenstocks, and then they were soaking wet for the next 2 days because it rained. I couldn't even put them outside to dry. And so the next time we went out, I sent her a picture of her boots, and I said, "Can I wear your boots? Because we have the same size feet."
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, go ahead." So I actually wore them a couple times.
They're my Blundstones.
Now I
you
want
them.
some.
I wear them all the time.
Yeah, I want
So
them.
these are perfect boot socks for my Blundstones. So that's what I had in mind.
This yarn is so soft.
I'm
oh my
trying
god.
not to You know when the inside comes out and gets twisted up into the working yarn?
No, because I always pull
know,
from the
too much
inside.
Yeah, I'm not a pull from the inside person. So.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the same thing.
No. So that's one of my FOs. Well, no, one of my FO plus a whip. It's a half finish object.
Yeah.
So those will be finished for next time.
Nice.
All right. You want me to just keep going?
Sure.
Okay. So this is kind of my big work in progress.
And she was really mad at it yesterday.
Ooh, I was so mad. I thought I wasn't going to be able.
I thought she was going to throw it in the trash.
I just don't want to knit on this anymore. I don't want to fix it. But I think my husband and I can never agree on a TV show, ever. So he Googles it and he reads all these things. So we agreed on
My husband and I are similar.
We started this TV show called Younger, and it's really old. It's from 2015, but there's like 7 seasons. And we started watching it, and I was like, oh, this is so dumb. I can't even. And then, of course, I got sucked in, and I like the characters. So I turned on Younger. So I'm only in season 3, so I have like 4 more seasons to go. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to knit this back. So basically,
you had to tink it,
yes,
right?
I had to tink it. I couldn't rip it. So basically what happened, this is the Fun Fan Blouse by Anna Enge,
yeah,
formerly Pickles. That was her design company. So this is a previously published pattern under Pickles, but she re-released it as herself. So the Fun Fan Blouse, the gauge is 19 stitches on a US 6, which is a 4mm for the body, and then a US 4 for the ribbing. And it comes in 3 sizes. So it's like small, medium, large, but it's like extra small, small, medium, large, large, extra large or something.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. But basically a finished bust from 39.4 to 52.8. And of course, I was like, oh, I'm running out the door. I'm just going to cast this on because it's bottom up. So I could just start on the ribbing in the car. I don't know where we're going. And so I remembered a number. Of course, did I print out the pattern? I don't have a printer in Vermont. So I remembered a number, and it turns out I remembered the number for the extra small. But I'll get back to that later. So it's a fun pattern. Fun fan blouse. It's fun. Anyway, you know how when podcasters say, or anybody says, oh, the lace is really intuitive. Yeah, I just call that sure it is. Okay, whatever. Intuitive for who? But this lace is very intuitive. If I can do it without looking at the chart, anyone can do it.
Right.
It's super, super easy. There are a bunch of charts, so it's all charted. It's not written out. There are a bunch of charts, but 1A, 2A, 2A, 2B, that kind of thing. But they're all basically the same. I think they just vary in the width and the height. So it's basically the same stitch pattern. And so I didn't have to look at the chart except to see how many yarn overs and when to knit 2 together to get these little fans.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So the body is...
It looks very Art Deco.
It does. Looks like the Chrysler building.
The Chrysler building in New York City.
The body is just straight up and down, so there's no increasing or decreasing. So that one, great. I did block it because here I cast on the extra small. I thought, oh my gosh, this is never going to fit me. But I blocked it and my gauge is off. It's 15 point something. So I'm going to have plenty of ease. I think I decided it's going to have 40. The body is going to measure 42 inches. So that's plenty of positive ease for me. I have a 36-inch bust. I wanted it to be kind of drapey and blousey. That said, it's super cropped. Now, this is my second bottom-up sweater. I did make a bottom-up cardigan for my granddaughter, which, of course, she was a baby, so it wasn't a big deal. But I did do an extra repeat on the body because it was so, so cropped. But it still might be cropped, so I'm thinking in the back of my head when Kim says, it'll fit somebody. So it'll fit somebody.
That'll be so nice with the little high-waisted pants.
Right, high-waisted pants. Yeah, so I'll just have to buy some new pants.
These sleeves are stunning. So you knit the body up to the underarm. So I knit the body up
to the underarm, and then you knit, the sleeves are identical. So you cast on one sleeve. It's almost like knitting a sock. I think these are 7 inches long, and then they have these big balloon sleeves, which I love. And I did these on small circulars, and that was great. And then you bind off stitches underneath the arm on the body and underneath the arm on the sleeve. And then you put everything on one long
And then the drama began.
And then the drama began. So I have 5-inch tips.
We were FaceTiming yesterday when you were trying to do
And
this.
here's how we're going to have a nice, relaxing conversation and, catch up with each other.
And she's like,
all
wait a
I
minute,
did was
counting. No, oh, wait, I have one too many stitches. Oh, is
all
it
I did
supposed to
was
be this
mutter.
tight?
All I did was
It was fun.
oh, whatever.
I was her moral support.
Yeah.
What I said was, I Googled to see if anybody else has issues with bottom up when you join with the sleeves in the round. And there is documented on Reddit and everywhere that,
so you can see
that first row can be very difficult, first few rows.
the circumference of the sleeves is relatively small. And so between my 10 inches of, inflexible needle, it was so difficult to get around the sleeve. And so I tried
Magic loop.
magic looping it, and my needles just weren't long enough. So I did.
And she's in
just
Vermont, so
fine.
she can't just run to pick up every stitch.
I did. I ran down to my local yarn shop. It's called Six Loose Ladies. And they did not have the right size cable. So I waited till I came here, and I just got a 60-inch cable, and that will allow me to magic loop the sleeves. Could I have struggled and magic looped on the short cable? Yes, but
it wasn't fun. That's when knitting is knitting is fun until it's not fun.
And on this, so when a pattern tells you to bind off the next 8 stitches, you need to knit. We've had this discussion. You need to knit 2 stitches before you start actually binding off. You can't just stop knitting and start binding off, right?
Right.
I mean, that's my understanding. So I know 100% I did that on both sleeves. However, I cannot remember if I did that on the body, if I, in fact, knit 2 and then started to bind off. So basically what happened, and there was more cursing.
I didn't hear any cursing. It must have happened
maybe
when
not.
I
try not to do that in front of her.
Maybe it's cursing in your head.
Yeah.
I curse in my head. I just try not to say it out loud.
Yeah. So I put it all on one needle, and the first round is just a plain knit round. What I should have done was make sure that the pattern was going to align with this new chart. So basically what happened was I didn't really realize, so some parts of the body matched up and some parts didn't. So when I found out,
you were like 1 stitch off in parts of it.
Right, in parts of it, but only in parts of it. So I figured out what it was. So I put on that show Younger. I watched 3, 4, 5
But then in the middle,
episodes.
though, when we were talking, the question was, should I just fudge it? The beginning of round is in the center back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I even said, just knit 2 together. And then really when you think about it, it's not going to line up. It's just better at that point to just undo it.
Yep.
You were only 2 rows in and start over.
But I did have to fudge something, which was I had 1 too few stitches in the front and 1 too many stitches in the back, but I couldn't steal stitches.
And you had already bound off, so you couldn't move the bind off anywhere. Yeah.
And so I actually had to make a stitch underneath the arm and then knit 2 together on the other side of the underarm, which
nobody will ever know.
No one will ever know. It's completely fine.
Yep.
And I went around with stitch markers, and I marked the center of each of the little fans. Mm-hmm. And now I'm good to go.
Yay!
So I just started the first chart. So
is this pink? I didn't realize it's pink.
It is Santa's Garn Sunday in powder pink. Powder pink? Yeah. Which is color 3511. It's a fingering weight. Yeah. And then I am holding it with the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair, which I have to say is one of my favorites. It is really soft. And that color is Ballerina.
Oh, it's
and
so
I had
gorgeous.
I bought this at Pick Up Every Stitch. Probably I'm famous for buying stuff for a particular pattern, then I don't make it, and then I just have it in stash. But I have this in stash, and I thought it suited the pattern really well.
So
and it wasn't beige, so that was good. So now I'm onto the circular yoke. So there will be decreases in the circular yoke. And if you look at the projects on
Are the
Ravelry,
decreases in the chart, or do you have to just magically remember them? Is it
I'm pretty sure they're in the chart.
in the chart? Oh, good.
I don't read ahead in my patterns. No, I haven't.
You're funny.
I haven't read that far, so I'm assuming they're written into the chart.
But you
everything
usually-
else has been.
You usually look at project comments before you even start a project to see
I
if there
do.
are issues, to see.
And there were no issues.
Yeah.
So I knew that whatever mistake that I was coming across was
It
one
was
that I
yours
made.
and not in
Yes,
the
it was
pattern.
my mistake. So I think we're good to go. Some people have made it like kind of a mock turtleneck, and others it's like a crew neck, and it's a very beautiful lace yoke. So I'm excited.
So
Maybe
lovely.
I'll have it done in time for the holidays. Who knows? And I think it'll be too warm to wear it right back, but you never know.
You never
Maybe
know.
we'll have a cold winter.
Yep.
So
You
yeah,
never know. Okay. Nice.
that's my big whip. And I did start something the other day, so
Oh, you did?
I'll let you go
Oh,
first.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a few whips, and I usually don't, right? I usually just work on one thing, but I started one thing and then I had to rip it out. So my next thing on my agenda after I finished my adventitious was a baby blanket. A woman I know was going to have a baby. I've known for a little while, and I really wanted to be inspired. I didn't really know what kind of baby blanket I wanted to knit. And so, the baby was due in July, late June or early July. You don't need a baby blanket in June or July. They're not supposed to sleep with blankets anyway. It would be like something to cover them if you're in air conditioning or put on the floor to play. But I thought, I'd rather knit something that I'm really happy with than worry about a deadline, because I hate deadline knitting. Anyway, so I was here at I started up, just so you know, it's on my Instagram, but I don't really I don't advertise it on YouTube at all. I started coming to the Pick Up Every Stitch knit nights. It's every Thursday from 4 to 6. Now, if there happens to be a holiday like Thursday, July 3rd, the day before 4th of July, they didn't have knit night. But if you check their Instagram, it'll tell you, or you can call or email and ask. But I really miss Jonna. It's kind of boring sitting at home by myself and knitting. And I do go to my local Starbucks and knit, but I'm by myself most of the time. So I started to come here. And so the last 3 weeks in a row, and I've come a couple more times. So one time I was here, and all of a sudden I was inspired what to do with the baby blanket. And they have beautiful samples here. I go look through the samples to get inspired. But this woman, her name is Lamisha, and she, for fun, for her mental health, to make her happy, she paints. She started painting. I don't think she was trained as a painter. I'm not really sure. But her paintings are really these bright kind of pop art, abstract, just lovely paintings. If you look her up on Instagram, she's Lamisha, Lamicia. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it. But you'll see her artwork on her walls. You'll see it, all over on her Instagram. So I thought, what if I knit a baby blanket recreating one of her paintings? Now, a lot of them are really complicated, so I had to go through her Instagram and look for one that was more simple, and I found one. And so I was sitting here in Pick Up Every Stitch. So I found an app where I could make a picture into a chart. And I started working on it when I was here, and now recently I blew the chart up. And
Because the squares are itty bitty.
well, on the original 8.5 by 11, isn't that what it is? A piece of paper is 8.5 by 11?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the squares were minute. So just recently when I ripped the blanket out, I didn't rip it out because of the chart, I'll tell you why, but I went to FedEx Kinko's and I blew it up so that now the boxes are a little bigger. And I'm in the process of drawing in 10 by 10 lines so it's easier to follow. Mm-hmm. But this is the painting. And I ran around with this picture in Pick Up Every Stitch. I'm using Big Bad Wool Wipaka, one of my all-time favorite baby yarns. You still have to lay it flat to dry, but it's just soft and lovely. And I picked out colors that really basically match. Maybe I have a picture I can insert pre-ripping it out. But these are some of the colors, but they're really lovely. So at first it was a secret, but then I did message her and I said, I started your baby blanket. Do you want it to be a secret, or do you want me to give you a spoiler? So I basically showed her what I was doing. So I'm not using a pattern. This is my own creation. And of course it's in Tarja. So the first thing I had to do was I wanted the cast on and the edge to also be intarsia. I could have just done a simple pink border or something like that, but I wanted right from the cast on to have the colors change. And so I looked for a video on how to seamlessly do the intarsia cast on, and now I can't remember what video I looked at. Eek! So,
We'll
sorry.
put it in the show notes.
Yeah, and next time I talk about it, I'll tell you. But I found a really great video. I didn't do it exactly like her, but I really followed it pretty closely, and it's beautiful. So I did the cast on. It was gorgeous. For my edge, I did, is it seed stitch? I did like 6 rows of seed stitch and 5 extra stitches on each edge for seed stitch border. But then I couldn't remember. I just want to start projects. I don't want to investigate. I don't want to research. I think I remember how to do a decorative slip stitch edge. So my first 4 rows, it was not a decorative slip stitch edge. It was pretty hideous, but I thought, she'll never notice. She's not a knitter. By the 5th row, I had a beautiful decorative slip stitch edge on both sides. And so I start knitting, and then I had started something that's more simple. Intarsia with a bunch of balls of yarn is not that simple. So I had started something simpler to knit when I'm socializing, and I basically put this down and finished that. I don't know why. That's how I am. I finished the main part of that, which I'll show you in a minute. But then when I picked this back up, I couldn't remember how I did the slip stitch edges, and for the next 8 rows, I tried to remember, and I kept having to fudge it, and then the stitches got all stretched out, and it was driving me crazy. And I'm crazy. When I do things like intarsia, I weave in my ends. A few rows after, I weave in my ends. So I couldn't really just rip back. All my ends were woven in. I couldn't just rip back to wherever, because I still didn't know how I did the slip stitch edge. And I didn't write anything down. I had on my page in my book, Zoe's blanket, and it's blank.
Which is so not like you.
It's not like me, but I wanted to start. I thought, oh, it's easy. I'll remember. But I didn't. So there were a couple of other little things in the intarsia that weren't perfectly perfect for me. So at one point, I was about this far in. I was here, and I said, you know what? I'm going to look up how to do a slip stitch edge, first of all, and I'm going to write it down. And I did. I have now since, and I'm just going to rip the whole thing out. And so I spent one day just ripping it all out, all my little curled up yarn, but I'm going to be much happier with it. And I haven't cast on yet because I need to write the 10 by 10 lines in. Otherwise it will drive me completely bonkers. And then in my knitting, I put stitch markers that actually match the color on those 10 by 10 markers, those marks too, those lines, so that I know what color I'm using and where anyway. So that's that. It's going to be gorgeous. Zoe's blanket will be beautiful, and I can't wait to finish it. And I'm going to use the scraps that are left over to knit her big brother, who's 6, Jacob, a matching striped beanie of some sort. And with the white, I'm going to write Big Bro, just duplicate stitch Big Bro on the front of it. Maybe do a colorful pom-pom or something. But yeah, so that's one of my whips that's now no longer a whip. It's a frogged thing. But yeah, so that's one of them. So what else? Do you have another whip?
I do. I cast something on the other day. And it is in my lap. And of course, I bought this yarn to make the Perry sweater. I bought this at A Time to Remember?
Yes.
Okay. I always want to say An Affair to Remember, but that's an old movie.
Right.
Correct?
And that's the color of yarn of the Sonder yarn for my shawl. That's why I got confused. Okay. Yes.
So I bought this to make the Perry sweater, patterned by Jonna. Helen. And, you know, in Vermont, I just have limited choices. So Kim from the Knitting Posse is making a vest from this same designer, and her name is Noriko Ichikawa. And the name of this pattern, though it's different, is the Cocoon Choki. Chokki, and choki is the word for vest in Japanese. So I was watching, a friend of mine sent me a YouTube channel of this lovely French woman, and she has, videos of herself walking through the forest and foraging and, that lifestyle. And she was wearing this kind of long vest. And I was thinking, oh, I want to walk through my forest in a long vest like that. It's so cute. So I had kind of half thought I would just copy Kim and cast on the one that she was making, but I didn't because I saw this one. So this is a top-down vest, and this is the back. I don't have much of it. So you basically start with the left shoulder and do some shoulder shaping with short rows. And then you make the right shoulder and do some short row shaping. And then you backwards loop cast on and then join them together. So I have just started the back, and I know it looks super wide, but I want it to be really oversized. I'm making the third size. There are 9 sizes in the pattern with a bust width of 39 inches to 60 inches. So I'm making the size 3. And you are doing it's not a sleeve because it's a vest, but it is sort of, it's like almost this much of a sleeve though. Mm-hmm. So you do the ribbing while you're knitting the back and while you're knitting the front. So it's a 4-stitch repeat, and I haven't memorized it in my head. So I'm going to use one of those twice sheared sheet row counters so that I don't, because I just need to visualize it. I probably should write it out and draw a picture or something. So I need to visualize it. But it's kind of like a garter stitch rib. Mm-hmm. So then you join under, so then you cast on the front by picking up stitches from the shoulders, knit down to the armholes, knit it all together in the round to the hem, and then it's just a 2x2 regular rib on the hem. It's not this rib. Mm-hmm. And then you pick up stitches around the neck for a 2x2 kind of mock turtleneck. Let me see. Yeah, I think I said everything. So the yarn I'm using, though, is Tuku wool fingering. And isn't it cool how the ball winder did that? I love it. I know, it's crazy. New ball winder, the one I have in Vermont. And it's 100% finished wool in the color Ray. And then I also bought the Tuku wool silk mohair at that same event. And this is in the color, it's covered up Cecil, which is basically black. So it's a black and a brown together. So I think it'll just go with everything. It won't show the dirt, It'll just be an extra layer to wear over a flannel and then a coat over it if I need it. So and then I'll traipse through my forest and have you take a picture.
Take videos and pictures of you.
So it's knit on a US 8, which is a 5mm. I'm like looking at all the different cameras and not paying attention. So a US 8, 5mm, and then the ribbing is done on a US 6, which is a 4mm. So the gauge is 18 stitches, and I'm pretty on. That said, I haven't blocked it. But honestly, it's a big oversized vest. It kind of looks like a man's, like I might be wearing my husband's vest. Mm. And I'm just going to knit as long as I have yarn, and hopefully it covers my booty. So
nice.
There you go. That's my other work in progress.
And you have other works in progress that aren't in Vermont. They're down in Texas. And who wants to knit on a thick black sweater in the summer?
I did bring my Stoneham poncho with me, the cashmere one, because I do want to wear that in Vermont. So I do have that with me. But I was doing the color work. I was just like, I'm just not into this color work. I'm just not into, I don't knit with continental and English. I don't hold the yarn in 2 hands. I hold them both in the left hand. That said, sometimes I don't tension the other yarn at all, and I just catch floats when I need to. So I don't know. I think the color work ends up looking very even and it looks neat, but it's very slow for me. It's slow going. So I pick that up sometimes and haven't made much progress, but I'd like to wear that in the fall too. I think it'll be a very useful garment. So yes. I do have that with me. I have.
What was the black sweater?
Hopefully my husband gets a second sock at some point.
Oh yeah. What was the black sweater you were knitting and you just had to do the
neck? I have the Wednesday sweater by Petite Knit.
You finished the neck and you just had to do the sleeves. What was it? No. Yeah.
Yes, I finished the neck. It was like 9 inches of ribbing.
Because it's like a turtleneck.
And then I started the sleeves and just got bored or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But
eventually.
yeah. And you know what? You know what it is? It's always something, right? It's always something. There's always a reason why you set something down. And the reason is because I'm holding the Jensen yarn with 1 strand of Issei or Alpaca 2, I believe. It's very crunchy and it's very rustic. I know it's going to bloom. I know it's going to soften up. I don't mind rustic yarn. This is very rustic yarn. Something about that in my hands. The
texture of it in your hand.
I don't love. But I think I'll love the finished garment. It's a black turtleneck. I'm going to wear it all the time.
Yeah.
So those 2 will definitely be finished.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 more whips, and then we'll be done with this main part of this episode. So the other thing I started that was to be more simple, so that I didn't have to take my Intarsia project with me, was a design from Cultivate. This is a Lina Publishing book by Dee Hardwick and Jonna Helen. And it's called Cultivate Knitting the Beauty of Nature. And there's sweaters, scarves, dresses. I can't remember what else is in here. It's really beautiful. But the reason I got the book when we were at A Time to Remember, we had some successful shopping at A Time to Remember. Wow.
Well, there was some beautiful yarn. Oh my goodness.
Gorgeous. But Dee Hardwick was there, who I had never met, and she was wearing, I think I've talked about this before, she was wearing, at some points, this beautiful
There was
shawl.
a fashion show.
There was a fashion show, but I think I just saw her wearing it talking to somebody. I was behind her, and I saw it looked like watercolor paint on this shawl, like it was painted.
Is it this one?
No.
Oh.
And I was, oohing and awing over it, and eventually I got her attention, and I said, "Is that intarsia, or is it stranded color work?" And she said, "It's neither. It's you knit," here, I'll just take mine out. You knit the entire rectangle, half of it pink and half of it white. It's basically all stockinette. There's a tiny 2-row edge or 2-stitch edge. And it's, they had kits there. I think I bought the last kit. It's La Bien-Aimée Mohair silk. And this is the exact colorway that's in the book. And the pattern is only available in that book, so you have to find somewhere to get it. But then, afterward, it's knit double strand of the mohair to knit it. And then, after the fact, you duplicate stitch, like painting with yarn, this gorgeous design over it. This clematis. It's called clematis. Did I say that? By Dee Hardwick. And it's really fun. And the thing is, when I do this, I kind of need bright light, and I need a table to put it on. But I'm
It's
really
like embroidery.
it is
almost.
like embroidery, just duplicate stitching with a single strand of the different mohair colors. And so this is now the project it's not complicated at all. It's really fun. I did one little blue flower here, and I started a leaf here. It's so soft. And I think I tied it around my neck in our Vogue Knit Live episode.
Oh, and the flowers are in the front?
Yeah, I think I just kind of tied it like this, folded it kind of in a triangle. And it's going to be just covered with vines and leaves and flowers.
So beautiful.
Oh, I love it so much. And I think, I cast this on once and realized it was going to be too small. I didn't get gauge. And for this specifically, it isn't large anyway, and I wanted to be able to fit it around my neck. So I ripped that out, and I did do a gauge swatch, found my gauge, and now I did this. And it's basically the correct dimensions. So that's beautiful. And the rest of the mohair is in here, just waiting. Isn't it gorgeous?
So beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Just stunning.
So rich.
The colors are so beautiful. So that's my easy project, because it is mindless. I can definitely sit, and I bring it with me here to knit night, and there's right in front of us, you can't see them, there's this whole entire, they call it now Mohair Island, I think. All these gorgeous mohairs, which, by the way, they have a new brand of mohair, and this isn't really where we were going to talk about it. They have a new brand of gorgeous mohair.
Look at this color.
I mean, look at these colors.
It's like peony.
It's by, I can't remember how to say it now, Majo, I think. It's French, a French company. The yarn is made in Italy. This is called Pearl Mohair. And just look at these colors.
Yeah.
And then they have 3 other yarn bases here as well. They have a fine merino. They have sunny linen. And they also have, this is similar to Snefnug, but it's, I think, a DK weight. It's called Puno Fine. And so it has the look of Snefnug. And it's just glorious. So if you need mohair to knit the D. Hardwick beautiful shawl,
Oh, these would be gorgeous
clematis.
colors.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
amazing. So yeah, they have the creamy white. They have a pink. Yep.
And that's wine color. Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
I mean, you could do it if you look at the projects on Ravelry, there's whole different, people have done many different colorways.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely contact Pick Up Every Stitch if you need mohair. Plenty of mohair here. But it's fun I bring it with me to knit night and I can put it on the table and just sit there and mindlessly, I just have to count how many stitches I need in that row. But yeah, it's really fun. So that's my easy one. And do you have any more whips?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I have one more. Why? Because I was kind of if I don't feel like doing duplicate stitch, and I had just ripped out the other thing, I couldn't do that. So I had taken this little, like a short Zoom class last year with Keith Leonard, one of my all-time favorite knitting teachers. He does amazing finishing classes if you're at VogueNet Live, and if you follow him, he's Yarn Snob Keith, I think, on Instagram. Follow him and take his classes. But he was offering this little class on this Lizard Ridge Afghan. I've always wanted to knit an Afghan, and the colors were stunning. So I did the class, and basically the class was, the pattern, it's by Lizard Ridge by Laura Aylor, Aylor, and it's originally done short rows with wrap and turns, and he converted the entire pattern into German short rows. So he was just teaching us. We did like 2 sections during the class, and you could buy a kit. So I bought a kit of Noro. Gorgeous. I've never knit with Noro before, but here's the squares I have done so far. 2, 3, look. And so you basically pick, it's 2 colors of Noro per square. I think I have 12 or 13 different colors.
Wow.
And you basically just pick 2 that are high contrast. And this is one that isn't blocked yet. I've blocked them to 11 by 11, and they're supposed to be 6 squares by 4 squares. So 6 times 11, it'll be 66 inches by 44 inches. I did that math really fast.
Look at you.
And then I also, the kit came with 2 hanks of Yarn Snob, just black. Merino, I think, to do like I think it's a crochet, like a scalloped edge. Mm. But it's so fun. These are addictive. And he told us.
It's so you.
It is, right? The colors. It's so not you.
Okay.
He said when we were doing it, it seems kind of complicated because you're knitting and doing short rows, and then you're knitting and doing short rows. But he said after you do 1 or 2 squares, you'll have it memorized. And I do.
Good.
That's not to say I don't mess up still. I have to remember what section I'm on, but it's really fun and easy. And yeah, so that's my other project.
That'll be super cozy.
Yes. And I'm wondering if it'll soften up. It's not your like cozy, squishy yarn. It's definitely rustic, but I don't care. It's going to be an amazing blanket.
Yep.
So, yay. That's it. That's all my whips.
Cool.
Now what do we do? We haven't done this in so long.
No. So my favorite thing kind of segues into a purchase I made at Pick Up Every Stitch today. So.
All right. Well, I was setting up. We had extra time because we were waiting. Justin is here helping us, by the way. Hi, Justin. Thank you, Justin. But his train thing got messed up, so we were waiting for him. So Jonna had time to shop because she's not here very often.
I know. Not that I need more yarn, but you know. So one of our viewers, Karen, sent me a pattern on Instagram and said, "Oh my gosh, this reminds me of you." And I said, "Oh, it's beautiful." So it's funny because I walked in here and I said, so there's this pattern. It's called the Breath Blouse, not breathe, but breath. And Felicia said, "Oh, I just printed that out today." And there's only maybe 7 projects on Ravelry, like not very many. It is a pattern by Gudrun Fessel. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It is a sport weight pattern. They're holding a light fingering with lace to make a sport weight gauge. It's 23 stitches on a US 4, which I did not write down the millimeters of a US 4. Probably up somewhere. And it's got these trumpet sleeves, which obviously you cannot wear it and cooking with gas. You cannot wear it while you're cooking. But I think I might make them a little bit shorter. I like the trumpet sleeve. I like not feeling restricted. And they're very beautiful. But it's cool because the increases, so the lace pattern radiates out from the yoke, from the neckline, and all of the shaping is
done within the lace.
Yes, I can't even think of the word. All the shaping is integrated.
There you
Look
go.
Look at me. Oh, my menopause brain is integrated into the lace pattern and in the sleeves and in the body. It's very elegant. It's very simple. It reminds me of the Muro Manel or this tee. This is by
Plain Yoke Tee by
Yoke Tee.
Lena Holmes Samso.
Right.
Similar kind of circular
there's
yoke.
that cabled cardigan I'm making. That's in the back burner somewhere.
Speaking of Lena
same
Holmes
designer.
Samso, yeah.
Yes. That'll definitely be finished too. All right. So it's cropped. Sorry, I lost my place. It's top down in the round, short rows, twisted rib on the bottom, and on the neckline, and then on the cuffs, and all increases are worked in the lace that radiates down from the neckline.
Sounds amazing.
So yeah, it's very beautiful. So I actually purchased the yarn, one of the suggested yarns, which is Ito Kinu, which is 100% silk, in this beautiful gray, white, black, marl,
Almost
tweedy color. And I show it to Felicia, who is the queen of mohair, and I don't want gray. I don't want something that's just going to blend in, and she suggested this blue.
Beautiful.
Of course, she knows I love blue, but that's just enough contrast to be something interesting. So I bought enough to make the breath blouse, and I also bought my longer needles for my fun fan blouse. And segue into book reading. Karen Altabef, who is one of the owners of Pick Up Every Stitch we mentioned before, her husband is an author.
I've wanted to buy these for my granddaughter.
So this is young adult fiction. So I asked, is it racy? Is it like ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses? Is it like Fourth Wing? And he happened to walk in the door, the author, and said, there's romance, but no, there's no hot and heavy sex. So it is appropriate for young readers.
Is it autographed?
That said, do what you want with your own kids. And it's autographed, and we both have a daughter named Emily, and he wrote a little note for Emily, my daughter Emily. So she likes all those romantic-y books. So yeah. So I'm excited. So maybe she will let me read it. So
yeah, I've been wanting to buy some for my granddaughter, but
So that show Younger that I mentioned earlier it's set in a publishing company. So all the characters work for this publishing company. So anyway, it was just kind of divine timing or whatever. Nice. So I bought it. So this is the first in probably a series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he has other series. So he is on Amazon also, but I'll put the link.
And his name again is Jeff
Altabef.
Altabef. Nice.
I'll put the link in the show notes to the book on Amazon. Or you can call Pick Up Every Stitch. They have a website, but it's not purchasing. You can't purchase on the website, but they're happy to help you shop in the store if you call.
Yeah, just call or
and they
email.
mail stuff out every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they'll even take like their phone around and take pictures and send you the pictures so you can see what things look like. Yeah, it's really.
So that was my favorite thing.
And a book
an acquisition and a book.
Nice.
Yeah.
You took care of a lot of things there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have two favorite things. I have to apologize to Georgia Farrell. I love Georgia Farrell. She's a UK designer, and she gets her inspiration from architecture. And I fell in love with her light pullover. Was it 2 years ago? And I immediately bought the yarn, and I knit it, and I absolutely love it. And she has since had a baby, so she's a mommy, which is hard then to work your business. But she has publish, well, she contacted me and said she was publishing her second book, and would I like a copy? And I said, sure. So she actually sent me both books. I didn't have the first book, but my light sweater is in there. And they're published by Rowan. She's a Rowan designer. And so I want to thank Georgia Farrell, and I want to encourage any of you to knit these patterns. They're very original. It's not your typical colorwork yoke or cable cardigan. Again, they're based on architecture. There's some in Tarja. There's my light sweater right there. Not my personal light sweater, but she has a very, this is her color palette. So they're very graphic. They're very asymmetrical, both in the color work design and also the shapes even in some of them.
And the texture.
The texture, yes, exactly. And so, yeah, they're just so original. It's like, and look at this cute little vest. Or it's actually not a vest. It has sleeves, but it's just beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're just gorgeous. So thank you so much, Georgia. We haven't actually filmed an episode since I received the book, so this is the first chance I had this pretty tunic. And what's great about these, this is her color palette. You can use your own color palette.
Right.
High contrast, more tonal, and yeah, they're just all gorgeous. So thank you so much, Georgia Farrell. And I don't know if a lot of the one I did was in Rowan felted tweed held with Mohair. And actually, I think I bought my yarn in Bordeaux when I was visiting my son once. So it has so many lovely memories. Memories of meeting Georgia Farrell, memories of, I think it was VogueNet Live maybe that I first had seen it, or I don't know. I wore it and she got to see it. So I don't know. It's just, I love it. So that's one of my favorite things. My other favorite thing is, and we don't really talk about Twice Sheared Sheep a lot. We are affiliates, and they sell Twice Sheared Sheep here at Pick Up Every Stitch. So you don't have to purchase from our affiliate link. You can call Pick Up Every Stitch, and you can get your row counters, and you can get all these things. So you can support us. You can support Pick Up Every Stitch. We really don't care. But we love if you support Twice Sheared Sheep because it's a woman-owned business. And some of the things they make themselves, some of the things they source out. But they send us surprise boxes. So you can order surprise boxes. I think they're seasonal. And so we just got a new surprise box. And the last time we got a surprise box, we sent the entire box as a prize. I don't remember why. It was an Instagram prize. We did some sort of giveaway. And so there's a project bag. There's
little tins.
One of the storage tins. There's 2 skeins of sock yarn.
There's one of those knit increase, knit decrease
stitch markers. There's other stitch markers. There's a Pama Llama. They sell these at Pick Up Every Stitch. So it's a llama to help you make pom-poms.
And this is a shawl pin.
It is. It's a big chunky wooden shawl pin. So you can crisscross your shawl over and then pin it with this big...
and this is sock yarn.
It is sock yarn. So yeah, I just love Twice Sheared Sheep, and we're also getting their Advent. I think there's still a few Advent calendars available. So if you want to get the Advent calendar, and there might be still be a discount code. I'm not really sure. Sorry. Just getting organized for this was hard enough, but definitely you can use our affiliate link. Especially to order the Advent calendar. We've gotten it 2 years in a row and we love it. So you can do that, or you can just call. We can't live without our row counters now.
No.
And when my mom was trying to do the shawl, I had the R. Mine was right and left. So you can put, like, if you're doing a right and left, you can put the R and the L stitch marker on either side, and it has a clip, so it's removable. And so I had put on that Grace shawl R for right side for my mom, because at first it was hard for her to figure out what was the right side and what was the wrong side, where to knit and where to purl. But they have so many ingenious little gadgets.
Is there a row counter that's short, just 5?
Yep. You can do 5 rows.
I don't know if I have that one.
There's also one with only odd numbers or only even numbers if you're knitting flat for your row counter, because you wouldn't switch the row to the end of the row anyway. So that works really well. Some people, there's straight long row counters, which is what I have, and some people have ones that are in a circle, so it doesn't hang down so far, and so you're just moving around the circle. And there's definitely ways, there's usually 10 rows, how to then do 11, 12, all the way up to whatever. So we love them. So yeah, definitely check them out. That's another one of my favorite things. So let's talk about the mannequins.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is a slanted slip over by Anna Wenzel, and it is knit in that squishy yarn Esair Eco Baby that is just very squishable.
Yeah. I think they don't have much of this color left here. It's like an ecru, I guess. So actually, Karen's knitting another one, a little bit bigger in a different color, more like an oatmeal. And it's just so squishy and gorgeous. It's so beautiful.
So structured and geometric, and the detail on the sides, just stunning. So
yeah.
I love that.
It's really, really
someday
gorgeous.
They'll make that.
And then here in the center, this is Sevilla by Petite Knit, the sweater. And it's knit in Esair palette, held with Ito So Asa. I think that's how you say it, these two. And I just love how this Ito glows. Isn't it just like,
very iridescent, shiny.
It's so gorgeous.
This would be a great, like, I think of like a beach sweater in the evening when it's chilly.
Yep, you can even throw it over your bathing suit, right?
Yeah.
And a pair of shorts.
And isn't this beautiful?
This is the new, everyone's obsessed with Night Lights by Andrea Mowry. And this is in Art Yarns Silk Daydream.
Wow.
Plus 2 strands of mohair. And I think Karen did it on a smaller needle, so it's not as big. But it's really just gorgeous. I'm going to try to take
so soft.
good pictures. And these slip stitches, I guess that's what they are. They're so eye-catching.
It's really unusual.
It is. It's really lovely.
It's really beautiful.
And then behind Jonna, I thought this was the Miro Mainel, but it isn't. It looks similar, but it's the plain yoke tee, which we mentioned before, by Lena Holmes Samso. And this is knit in Camellia Fibre Co. Flax DK, which that yarn is, it's so lovely. It's so squishy and soft and smooth, and it just feels luxurious. It's really, really nice.
It's got a really nice drape to it.
Yeah, really love that. So
all that information will be in the show notes.
Yep. I think that's it. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Oh my goodness, I can't even believe it. And this will be so much easier to edit than a split screen.
Yes.
We're still trying to figure out this 2 different location thing. Thank you for your patience. It's definitely challenging. And we already have planned, I think I'm going to Vermont. I'm going on vacation beginning of August. Then I'll go to Vermont. We'll film episode 34 in Vermont at your house. And then that will be shown in September. This will air in early August. And then I don't know if we'll be able to film an episode in September to air in October. We'll have to try split screen again. We'll try. But it's difficult.
Well, now I know. So
it's okay. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, everything else about it was fine. It was just unfortunate because it was really a lovely, I liked what we talked about. But the best part was I get to hang out with her. Even virtually.
Well, we're going to go have dinner.
Yes, we are. So please comment, like, subscribe, share, become a member. We have 3 different levels of membership. And I had an idea, actually, for the members, another idea. I'll tell you later.
So our Cable 3 members, which is the highest tier of membership, we have a monthly Zoom meeting with them. And so then they have become our knitting group.
And that's easy to do split screen because it's Zoom anyway, so we're just in 2 different screens. That happens no matter what. That's really fun. And then for the second level, they can view the Cable 3 Zooms. We let them, we air it to them, and also all the members get to see the videos 24 hours before we air them. So thank you for your patience, everybody. And we do have merch. We got to fix that someday. And then twice sheared sheep. So I think that's it.
Yep.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to knit myself a sweater. A sweater that will keep me warm at night. Just how many days it must stop.
I just tapped the mic. Sorry. Are those the gremlins on the roof? I just tapped the microphone again.
They're like a child running around on the roof.
I know, it's so funny, right?
I did drive 4 hours, so it's all like
Wrinkly.
Wrinkly around my tummy. There is no roof. It's more this.
No.
I don't know, squirrels? Rolling nuts? Trying not to whack myself.
Don't whack yourself.
Birds?
Yeah, cut.